Hello there and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadiel Kabiro. I'm so glad that you're joining us for political conversations. Conversations which I hope will make us make informed decisions even as we're progressing towards this year's general elections. Just as always, I'm joined by Herman Manyora, a resident political analyst, today with a guest, Sultan Michael Madaga. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and thank you for having me.
You're vying for senatorial position in Vihiga.
Yeah, you said it right.
Why have you decided to go for it?
Michael Madaga, Senator Kijana, and I'm running for this Senate seat in Vihiga because I could only run for senator, nothing else at this particular point in time. And just like you had asked me earlier on, I would tell you this is the best time for me to run for Senate because at 32 years of age, I am in the most productive era of my life, and I want to give my country the best that I could ever give it. Talk of energy, talk of passion, talk of, the motivation, all the boxes, I tick them at this age in time.
Prof, forgive my manners. I didn't ask you how you are today, but how are you? And what are what are the chances of a 32-year-old becoming a senator?
You know, there
Kenya?
are many people who want this seat, and I come from Vihiga, as you know. There are like 14. How many?
14.
14.
Oh.
That's quite a number, eh?
Yeah.
And about 5 of them are people I know. Some of them very close friends of mine.
From
like
Osotsi,
and
all of them are your
so I
friends.
would not want to say who has a chance. I wish to pray and say, may the best one win. Best man. Do you have a woman?
Yes, one lady,
Oh,
13 men.
Maybe I'll back the woman.
when that time, just because she's a woman, you say. But Madaga, you say you're 32 years old.
Yes.
You want to become senator. You're running against people that have been in parliament, like Osotsi has been a nominated MP.
Yes.
What is the popularity? What do you feel the ground telling you? Will you win this thing?
I am running to win, and we are rightly in the winning margin, and I'll tell you why. Because you see, like, I consider myself, other than my age, when you also listen to us as we articulate our agenda on the ground, you find a person who is conversant with the issues that are affecting the people in Vihiga. Majority of Vihiga subscribe to the largest constituency of voters in Kenya. And this one, the constituency in terms of the poverty levels and the challenges that these people go through, Vihiga stands at about 62% poverty index, and that is what I am one of them. I come from that particular constituency, so I wear that shoe that hurts them as much because I am hurting as well. So that's why I am rising on that particular index and saying, look, here is one of you, and who wants to rise. And as I rise, I would want to rise with you. So this is my biggest motivation.
You know, we know in Kenya, for
Yes.
you to win a seat, you need to oil your campaign with money. You need some aspirants are giving a lot of handouts. Are you doing the same, and is that reflecting in your campaigns?
Well, I'm lucky. I have addressed rallies of thousands of people, and when you look at our channels, they say no single shilling exchanged hands here. We started off running on ideologies and agenda. Many people laughed us off, but with time, people have come to understand that huyu kijana amejipanga vizuri. They call me Senator Mkono Mmoja. Senator Mkono Mmoja basically means I sometimes go to the rallies alone. I am the driver, I am the announcer, I am the sound man. I am you see, like, I am playing music from Bluetooth, and I reduce the volume and I'm talking on the microphone. I am the MC and everything. All this because it is coming from the point of I am not able to sustain campaigns compared to
The other rich fellows.
Yes, to the rich fellows, and that one in itself has identified me with the majority of the electorates who are saying tunataka tupatie utu huyo mwenye ni mwenzetu.
Senator Mkono?
Yeah, Senator Mkono Mmoja.
Prof, tell me, Prof, you've been saying this a lot. We need to oil our campaigns.
Yes.
He's a young man, 32 years old.
Yes.
He wants to go for Senate, not MCA, not MP, Senate.
Yes.
It's a tough competition. Will he make it without the money? I know you don't want to talk about the other aspirants, you say you are friends, but without the money, Prof.
You know, unfortunately, with our politics, you need money. But that's not to say there haven't people who have won without money. You remember that senator with a sweater, the sweater senator from, not senator MP,
Yeah.
from Gembe or somewhere
Yeah.
in
Gembe,
Meru. Yeah?
yeah.
He didn't have anything.
Even there's
And
a young lady.
Even a Buri,
Yes.
Kanoti or somebody, same Meru again.
Yes.
Buri or somewhere near Timau. Again, he didn't have money. He was a teacher, school teacher, and you know, and several others. People have made it without money. They are not many though, but people do make it. They do on bus course. At least it's like it's driving.
Yeah.
We have had people who have had bus course.
Yeah.
Who never had vehicles.
Yeah.
And so it's not unusual. It happens.
Just tell me, what is your motivation in Vihiga? Why decide to start in Senate? What is that motivation that you're saying? Look, I'm not even going to start with MP, MCA. I'm 32. Some would say you can vie for Senate while you're 42 or 52. Yes. What is this thing that makes you go for the Senate position specifically?
Yeah, like I said, I if I was to meet my father today, if life was to go back some 33 years ago, then everybody who was alive then and my father was to meet him, I wouldn't know him. That is to tell you, I was born and I was introduced to my father through a photograph. My father died in 1989, September. I mean, I've never seen him. So that tells you I have grown in a life that has been characterized with sheer poverty. At one point, I had to redo nursery school. For 4 consecutive years for failing to raise 50 shillings, my brother. 50 shillings, we used to call it interview fee, one that would help you to transit to standard 1. And even when I sat for KCPE, sometimes back in 2003, I had to redo it again. I had to redo it again for just lack of school fees to transit to standard 1. I have been educated through well-wishers, and in the university I used to do border, and I mean to be able to raise money for accommodation and all that. I have gone through life perhaps with even when you find, you know, when you are in a position when someone whom you know is equally poor and he calls you enyewe kwa kina Mike in maskini, you know, that is when you know poverty has come.
Look here, what did he say? When a poor man says, lakini wakina
They're poor.
Yeah, for sure, that is poverty. You know, people eat mukombera nowadays. Mukombera, you know mukombera?
Yeah.
People eat it for leisure, but I knew this for food. I would go to Kakamega Forest and get enough in the green paper bags, so that every day when we are coming from school, that is what you would feed on. You know, Lantana Camara is basically this fruit that grow by the roadside. When schools release pupils to go for lunch, I know very well there is nothing at home. So I have
What is that in Kiluya?
Tirantana.
Oh.
Tirantana.
I'm not getting
Lantana Camara, those black fruits. So from school, I would go by the roadside eating, and when I would fill myself with some good sugar to sustain me up to evening, I just go back to school. You see, like, this is the kind of environment I have grown in, and I don't need introduction. I will not read the challenges of Vihiga in books. I have gone through them. I still go through some of them. So Vihiga could never have a legislator in the name of a senator than a person who identifies with the challenges that they go through. And this is the season for Michael Madaga, and that's why amongst all these people, all the 13, I challenge you, put them here and see who is as prepared as Michael Madaga. I don't have money, but I've invested in ideas. I've invested in agenda. So I am beating them on agenda. They beat me on money, I beat them on agenda, and I'll win it at the end of the day.
Before we talk about Senate, Prof, you come from Vihiga. Are things that bad, or is this a specific case that he says, look, is Vihiga that bad? Are things working? We have Governor
Poverty
Kitino.
index in Vihiga is high. There's no doubt about it. It is the most densely populated part of this country, I think.
After Mombasa, 1,000 per square kilometer.
Yes. You know, in terms of really very heavily densely populated. These are not places where you get somebody with an acre of land. Very rare. Yes. I grew up, my father having about 5 acres. It used to look like there was something wrong.
So you come from a wealthy family.
No! Another poor man is pointing at another poor man. So Vihiga has very huge poverty levels. Sometimes I wonder how people survive. If you want to know, God keeps his people. and miracles indeed are still on.
Yes.
Go to Vihiga and just ask yourself, these people, they are not employed, they don't have land, they have no nothing, but they live. You meet them in January, when you come in December, you expect to find them dead, you find them living and laughing and waiting to start the following year in January.
So the situation
Then miracles actually do. If you want no miracles, you go to Vihiga. There's people are so packed together, there's no land, people are not employed, many children have left school, they don't have jobs, but still God keeps them alive. If there's anybody to thank God, there must be people from Vihiga.
Talk to me about your popularity. We have MP Godfrey Osotsi, we have Jackson Swadi, who's now with UDA. Osotsi is from ODM. You come from the National Reconstruction Alliance by Okia Omtata. Are you going to make it with this party? It's not that big of a party.
I would want you to rate me not because of the party that I am coming with. This is a party that came to my rescue. I was running on independent for failing to raise money to run on a party, that is nomination fees. This party identified with me as that candidate, huyo Senator Kijana, Senator Mkono Mmoja, by that time, and they said, Kijana, wewe kuja, utatupea yenye utapata. You'll give us what you can be able to. They gave me a blank check. I allowed Okia Omtata for identifying with the youth. There are not very many people. I was unable to raise a party, to get a party. And these guys came and told me, because IBC requires that you pay something for nomination, we will give you a blank check and pay whatever you can afford. That's how kind they were. So I got a home. And
what was Omtata's party looking for in terms of from candidates?
They said they were out to identify with candidates that are good on the ground.
Yes.
And I mean, that's how they landed on me. So about my popularity, I am telling you, the Wananchi of Vihiga will answer that question on 9th. But we are doing our best. Unlike my competitors and my friends whom we are running together, for me, I am on the ground every day. If I don't raise 1,500 for that Pro Box fuel, I go there on a bicycle and I'm able to cover 40, 50 kilometers on a bicycle. If I am too tired to ride a bicycle, I walk. And I am able to access an entire ward. I have taken a campaign as easy as it is. And so this is why I am so determined that the pollsters have not really been kind on me, because some of them have actually, I mean, I don't, according to their eyes, I don't stand a chance as such. But you know, I am giving everybody, including you, 9th of August, you will see. Fortunately, I am the only candidate from Tiriki East, and more so, Tiriki speaking senator candidate. Majority of these, about 9 of them are from Maragoli, 3 are from Bunyore.
No,
the Tiriki have been left out in leadership and representation. Tiriki, specifically Hamisi, is the most underdeveloped part of Vihiga, and Tiriki East, now where I come from, ever since independence has never had anybody for a legislator. So this is why I appeal very quite a bit to the 82,000 voters in Hamisi and to about 40,000 voters in Tiriki East.
How about the other candidates? Which clans are they from? If you say clans,
9 are from Maragoli, 3 are from Bunyore. And you know, Bunyore already, the governor candidate is already having a head start. And whoever is having a head start for women rep is also a lady born in Vihiga sub-county and married in Bunyore. So Maragoli, Bunyore. And then you see when my coalition party leader Raila Odinga gave Marende an opportunity to be the speaker for Senate, and he drew back when it comes to vying for governor, that gave the incumbent governor quite a head start. So now the question that we have been asking, are we going to have a governor from Bunyore, a senator from Bunyore, and a women rep from also Bunyore? I mean, that is not the concept of devolution.
Prof, are people seeing it that clans?
Of course, people look at things in that manner. He has a very good chance in terms of if people were to base themselves now.
Yes.
You know, we are basically like 4 subgroups.
Yes.
Mainly 3. There is one Kalenjin, which is hidden. No, we also have the Kalenjin subgroup in our place.
Yes.
They are a minority. They have just about 5,000 votes, I think.
Yes.
Out of the 82. But they are there. So if you remain with the main 3, then we are looking at the Maragoli, and there are 9 candidates from there, like he says. Then we are looking at Bunyore. There's already a governor there. Then
and there are 3 senators.
And so on and so forth. So then from our side, he would basically be the only candidate. And if people are look at it that way, then he would actually give them a run for their money.
Hey.
And
I don't want to scare them.
And 82,000
your friends.
winning. But let me tell you, from about 290,000 registered voters after audit, and you give it an 80% turnout, you get about 250,000 people who will turn up. When you divide that number equally amongst the 14 of us, you come to around 18,000. So you'll be surprised someone can get 40,000 in Vihiga in this election and is declared the senator. That's why I'm concentrating on what matters. I'm doing my math very well. I am banking my support where I know I'll get votes.
By the way,
yes,
I know for Senate, nobody will get beyond 60,000.
yes.
For governor, yes. Governor 80, 90.
Will be split.
Yes.
Governor 80, 90. Senator below 60.
Yes.
And you say if the Tiriki vote for you.
If not, and not even all the Tirikis. If I just get 3/4 of my constituency, which is Amis, and you know, because of the poverty, send me living with so many. I've lived with more than 10 families in Vihiga, by the way. Some of them are even my teachers.
10 families.
Yes, I've lived with very many people. You know, home was, you know, when you come from a home where the poor people call you Kwenu ni Maskini, you know, we couldn't get food. So I would go to a family that is as poor, but at least for them, they don't struggle with food.
I heard people saying you are not tricky, you are Maragoli. You come from Vihiga, from Sabatia.
Yeah,
How true is that?
I grew up.
Your mother is in Sabatia, and you are.
Now this is how that story comes in. You know, when my dad died.
Are you lying? Eh?
Yeah, when my dad died, and my sister got married. My elder sister got married in a place called Jemovo. So we, in a family that she got married, they would not struggle with food as much. Yeah. So in 1997, we got married together with my sister. and
what does that mean? Eh?
I mean, I went and lived with my sister in her new home, and you know, there is a difference of about 20 years between me and my sister. So no one would believe where she was newly married that this is the brother. So huyu ni mtoto wake mwenye alizaa kwao lakini ameogopa kusema ni mtoto wake. To date they still say that. So I grew up in Jemovo. My class 8 certificates reads Wagivi Primary School. This is where I grew up. And so people knew when she would come to parents meetings, mama yako amekuja. You know, she's old enough to be my mother. Okay. I'm the very, very, very last born. So mama yako amekuja. So even when I am campaigning, I say, si mnajua Omaragoli, watiriki walinizaa, Omaragoli wakanilea. So that is the story. And even myself, I grew up calling my sister mom. Because, you know, her children will call her mom, and then I will also call her mom. But she's, of course, that happens with elder siblings.
I must say you have a very touching story, but people want to know what you will do. Yes, you've grown through a lot. You've been through a lot. But what will you do? Why Senate? And what will you do in Senate?
Mtu ambaye akona njaa ni mtu ambaye akona hasira. Wazungu walituambia hivyo. Tunataka tuhakikishe kwamba tunakosa kutegemea viongozi kwa sababu ya handouts, kwa sababu ya kuwa na njaa katika tumbo zetu. Ninataka tukiingia na nikiweza kuchaguliwa kama seneta wenu, niweze kuweka mradi ya kuhakikisha kwamba mashamba yetu ijapokuwa ni madogo, tunahakikisha kwamba tunafanya kilimo ambacho ni cha kisasa na kilimo ambacho ni cha biashara. Unakuja kwa ofisi ya seneta msimu wa mvua unapoanza, unapewa mbegu na mbolea ili hata kama shamba lako ni quarter ya eka, unavuna mahindi yako ambayo itatosha ikufikishe kwa kile ambayo ni mazao mengine. Mimi niko na mpango.
Yeah, I want to legislate a bit differently. I want to bring leaders to account to the responsibilities they have been assigned to. If you have been elected as a governor, for example, can we put you to task on pen and paper? Can we put you to task? For example, how about one of the things I intend to bring on the floor of the House, and why Senate and not any other? I would want to champion devolution and be able to champion for laws that will make devolution work for people. Currently, we are having hospitals that are not equipped completely and leading to loss of lives. You go to a hospital, it doesn't have basic things like a glove that is going to attend to a young man who has been involved in a motorbike accident. And you know, there is just someone who is not bothered by that because he doesn't go to that hospital. How about we criminalized intentional failure to equip hospitals so that as we bury our kin, also the governor is sued for attempted murder? I mean, okay, how about we come up with such so that the governor knows anaweza shtakiwa na mashtaka ya mauaji kwa kukosa kuweka madawa kwa hospitali that led to death of someone. These are the kind of laws, very unique and weird indeed, that I would want to champion because I hurt as much as that person in the village hurts. We are talking about issues to do with the young people. I just mentioned to you about HELB has got about 5 billion, Professor,
yes.
every year. Must HELB be alone? HELB, for example, is money that is given to poor people. Rich people don't need help, and for those people who subscribe to HELB, they subscribe to go and drink, with it and entertain themselves. HELB is money that is meant for poor and poorer students like me when I was in the university. How much will it cost the government to make this a grant so that, Jadiel, you return this money when you are able to? But as it stands, I am being punished for being poor. Poverty has already punished me, and also you also punish me further by giving me money that I'm not able to pay so that you send me to CRB. Now, this is why we need leaders that speak the language of the person on the bottom of the pyramid that hurts us much. If we had time, I would dissect you and give you detail by detail some of the things that I would want to legislate on behalf of young people, legislate on behalf of the people of Vihiga, legislate things that touch on education. Can education be free? And free, you know what free means. Let the only cost that education has be ile kutembea asubuhi kwa umande kwenda kutafuta masomo for that poor student.
How are you with young people? Are they receiving you well?
Oh yeah.
Since they are one of you. You are one of them.
When I'm doing, like the other day when I was doing bike trail from Shiru to Chavakali,
yes,
they came in numbers, about 20 of them with their bicycles, and they all escorted me to go look for votes. I'm selling quite very well. I was in Shamahoho the other day, and someone had helped me to print a banner, so I wanted to put it up. And when I put it up, someone said, "Na hujaongea na chairman wa stage." People came up to fight my battle, and they said, wewe tutakupiga wewe. Huyu kijana ametoa pesa wapi ya kupatia ndio aweke banner hapa? And they took the banner from me. They went, bought the kamba, mounted it up. I mean, like, that is the kind of support that we are getting from young people, and they're like, okay, you know how much this is hurting us, and you know how much we are suffering, and you would want to help us.
Prof, you're listening to him. Does he make sense for the people of Vihiga? Because some of the things are saying are more national issues.
You know me. You know I have a soft spot for young people. You know that, eh? Yeah. That's why I'm working with you people here. And what he's saying makes a lot of sense. But then our voters in this country, they will need to recalibrate their thinking so that they engage people at the level of ideas. I also know that we come from a place where 50 shillings can make all the difference.
Yes.
Anytime I have chance, like on to go on air, on vernacular stations like Vuka, I always say, please, this 50 shillings munauliza. Because you go to a polling station, they're about to close. They say, me, I have not voted. And they're hanging around there. Why? They are showing me, I have not voted. Sijakula kitu ya mutu. Now, that is really bad. So we hope that going forward and beginning with this election, they should be able to listen to young people like this and at least get something from them in terms of what they are saying.
Yes.
not in terms of the 50 or 100 shillings. So our place is notorious for that, but I hope people begin to change. So if that happens, then he has ideas that people can buy into.
I know I saw your vehicle while you were coming in, and I saw the picture of Baba and Mama, Raila Odinga and Martha Karua have said National Reconstruction Alliance is under Azimio. Why Azimio? Why would you go to a party? Why would you not go to a party like that supports Kenya Kwanza's presidential candidate?
You know, you've heard about the things that I would want to do for Vihiga, just a bit of it. And majority of those things are well aligned with the needs of the people of Vihiga. Now, when you read the manifesto document of the things that Baba intends to do for this country, the person who is going to benefit, a lot of people are going to benefit in Kenya from the government that Baba and Mama are going to give us come after 9th of August. But I may not know how much people will benefit, but I know whoever will benefit most is someone from Vihiga. When we talk about Baba Care, when we talk about social protection, when we talk about the recognition prior learning, we talk about so many things that Baba is articulating to, things that are relating with the wananchi, vijana, wamama, wa Vihiga. So I would want to make these things be rolled out at national level and now bring them down. I will give Baba real cases for the 6,000 shillings. I'm the one who will help him recruit and tell him that, you know, because again, we have had very good policies that don't get to the people who deserve, people who don't deserve it. Like hii pesa ya wazee. There are wazees that deserve that money, but because we don't have leaders that have got these wazees at heart, they have not enrolled these wazee and defended them. So I want to be this person. When we have something like Baba Care, we ensure that we have, as a champion and as their leader, to be able to tell him this one is the deserving case, unbiasedly, and to be able to. So Baba appeals to the needs of the people of Vihiga. And woe unto you if you are in Vihiga and you are not in Azimio, because that is the government. That is the government, and this is where we
Let me ask
in.
him something.
Yes.
Now that you have said, for example, which is true,
Yes.
my father died before he could get.
Yes.
Just the other day. Mzee Moja, my father was 90.
Yes.
He had never received that money of where I was there. So he's right that there's unfairness because it hasn't covered everybody. The government was still, doing it in phases. Now there's talk that in Vihiga there is a lot of ukora when it comes to bursaries. Have you heard of that? And if you became senator, what do you intend to do about that?
As a senator, when you look at my manifesto, there is, I told you I'm going to offer leadership, oversight, legislation, representation, and a number of things that I intend to do for the people of Vihiga quite differently. There is one specific thing that I'm going to single out in my manifesto that's called Ongea na Senator. Ongea na Senator is basically senator coming down every Saturday. Every Saturday, we are sharing with you, tell you when I come to Nairobi, I come on mission. Like immediately after now, I am done with what I came to do in Nairobi, I will be going back to Vihiga. I am a person who is best in Vihiga because I want to serve the people of Vihiga. So, Ongea na Senator, this is one of the ways to be able to dissect and get down to the, getting to relate with the people at their lowest point. And with this, you get to identify these real cases genuinely. When you...
Where will they get you and senators don't have offices?
No.
How will you do it?
For me, I have I've started Michael Madaga Foundation. Michael Madaga Foundation is a foundation that brings together friends who want to see Vihiga prospering, like Professor here, and whatever little or much they have, we put it together and we are able to do development as a senator. I have development projects in my manifesto as a senator, knowing very well I don't have a CDF kitty, but this one we are going to do it through Michael Madaga Foundation. Michael Madaga Foundation, I will be the implementer. Professor and friends will be the funders of that kitty so that we can educate and build houses. How come a house is still falling on widows in Vihiga? And we can be able to do something. A widow in North Maragoli, ukiingia kwa nyumba and she just needs 20 iron sheets. 20 with iron nails. Akona miti. The cost of putting a house for that woman is less than 50,000 shillings. Why not, Professor, nisaidie 2,300, I get another 2,000 there. That is how we can be able to do as a senator with no CDF kitty. This is what will keep me on the ground. So I am going to be on the ground. Yes, I don't have an office, and the law does not prohibit me from having an office, Professor, yes, in Vihiga. So for me, I will go to an extent at my expense to have a physical presence of an office, to be able to mobilize resources and be able to take children to school. If I am educating every year, I have been able to get through, I get about $1 million worth of a scholarship through talking to friends like this, that I educate children in Vihiga. Now in my individual capacity as Michael Madaga, I normally talk to lobby groups and people, and one organization told me every year they'll be giving me 5 slots for scholarships, 200,000 shillings every year per student for university education.
So you're already talking to people?
Yes, I'm already at a personal level, even as Michael Madaga, before I'm elected, and whether I'll be elected or not elected, but of course I'm going to be elected. This is what I am going to be able to, if I am sponsoring 5 students through friends. Now when I become a senator, you see the way I'll be able to expand this, maybe to 100 through Michael Madaga Foundation, because at that point, I can call the president and say, look, the people of Vihiga are talking. At this point, the president will be like, okay, well, and who is Michael Madaga? So this is now why I'm talking about Michael Madaga will be this leader that if you are corrupt, if you are this person who, wewe ni principal wa shule alafu unachukua bursary that is meant for a widow and an orphan somewhere to be able to go to school, then time is up, because I will do it myself.
There's this conversation of raising revenue to counties. Yes. In Senate, you'll be in charge of that together with other senators. What do you think the current situation is? Do counties need more money? There's 1 shilling, 1 man, 1 vote, that conversation. Some aspirants saying they'll provide 30%, some saying 45%. Do counties need more money, or it's just about oversight?
More money is good. More money is good, but let's also ask, with the little that you have, what have you done with it, first of all? Let us put good use to whatever that is available, first of all, so that if we can trust you with little, then you can be trusted with much. Now, like a case of Vihiga, 49.8 billion, 2013 to 2022. Let us also see the impact of about 5 billion injected into that economy every year. So that's why, like, another responsibility as a senator, I was telling you that the other time out there, I am like this parent who will not only go champion for more resources from Nairobi to Vihiga and maybe locally collected revenue, but I would want to be like this parent who, apart from just going to fetch for bread, I want to come down and ask my children, mmekula, mmeshiba. Like, just like you are responsible to pay school fees. You don't just pay school fees and stay. You pay school fees and find out, is your child attending school? So you don't champion for money to come from Nairobi to Vihiga and say, ndabarete razisendi. I mean,
You're confusing me now.
Ndabarete razisendi, karingoto ziyake korada. I mean, I've brought you money and I don't know what the money is doing. And yet your responsibility is to offer oversight. In my leadership, the last shilling meant for Vihiga will work for the person
before
of
you get that leadership,
yes,
say this, yes, Jad, this guy has told you he's a Baba man. He supports Baba and Mama. Yes. But Mudavadi comes from Vihiga. And therefore, one would expect he has a huge following from Vihiga. Now, if you antagonize that following by saying Baba, are you not taking a great risk?
You know, my vehicle, I've actually, someone had just helped me to brand my vehicle, and they intentionally included Baba na Mama, because there are places I have not been able to sell in Vihiga, because unless I declare support for Baba.
You don't say?
Openly, I'll tell you that. You will not sell in Luanda, Muhaya and Hamisi before you declare. your support for Baba and Mama, and even Vihiga sub-counties, and even better parts of Maragoli, better parts of Wodanga where I grew up. Atapita sababu ana support Raila.
Are you saying that Raila can scoop almost more votes in Vihiga than Mudavadi?
I think to be very, 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 very fair, and I think this one we can revisit this conversation. Not anything less than 70-75% in Vihiga for Raila.
In
Where Mudavadi comes from?
hometown.
I'm telling you, let's revisit this after elections. Let's revisit this after elections.
And that's why you support Raila.
Yes, let's revisit, because now there is no aspirant that is on the ground as much as Michael Madaga. And these are voices. And I challenge you, follow my page, and you will see there are places I go to people nawaambia, na huku mnasema, huko juu mnapatia nani? Sema Azimio. Azimio. So this is, I am one person who has chosen to also work with my people. So not just to throw in a word here for the purposes of this show or for the purpose of this conversation, but this is the reflection of, if there are people, if you would give people an opportunity to comment and say what the coalition they are inclined to, you would hear that. If you left here and drove into Vihiga and counted the number of the Kenya Kwanza banners, quote and quote, that other coalition banners, it tells you about the popularity versus these other banners. I mean, you might count like 20, 30 banners before you see a green one.
Prof, what do you think about the current situation of Vihiga County? We have Governor Tichilo. He's probably going to win it again. Polls are putting him quite ahead. Has he done a good job? Does he need someone like him for oversight, or Vihiga needs a change?
You know, Tichiro has done his best. It may not be what people would have wanted, but one thing you can't deny him, he's been able to put plans in place. Yes. He's a man who works with plans. That alone is good.
Okay.
Of course, he has been poor at politics. Like I told you, our people want a social governor. The governor before him, Reverend Akaranga, was a social governor. He knew how to treat church ministers, pastors. Every month he will treat them well. Whenever he goes somewhere, he doesn't leave people hungry. He gives them something small, which is good. When he goes to church and atoa sadaka in a funeral, but Otichero, even funeral, he doesn't. He's not a he's not a politician, and he's not a social politician.
Okay.
But the plans he has put in place, nobody can deny that they will be good for Vihiga, for now and in future.
Okay.
What he lacks is the political touch. And he's basically, you know, his hand is not very...
You're calling it the way they call Raila. You know, sometimes they call Raila that.
But also, just to add on that, you know, Vihiga, we have suffered the start-stop, start-stop kind of leadership, where after every 5 years we are starting. So, for the purposes of continuity, I think that is what Prof is also saying. That because, you know, when we also elect someone differently, it means he's coming to start over and almost halt the other initiatives that the other regime had started. So every time you are having this challenge, and that is where Kenya largely we have the start-stop economy, it is quite detrimental, it is quite harmful. And also that man, you know, inherited quite a system that was quite challenging to run. So for the first 5 years, the little that is done
to put things in place.
I think I would rather, in the spirit of fairness, we judge him after.
And in fact, if you remove a teacher, he may not be a very good man, and anybody, they can remove him if they want. But if you remove him, the risk you run is the person who comes, because I'm looking at the people who want, who are likely to succeed him. They will dismantle what he has done.
Yes.
Wataanza vitu kienyeji tena.
Start
You know kienyeji, eh?
Yeah.
No plan, no nothing, no, you know, just you are here, you know. That will be very, very bad for Vihiga, that can benefit from the plans or teacher has put in place.
Maybe you can just winding up the conversation. What is your word for the people of Vihiga County? Why should they vote for you?
I think Vihiga, my people, my brothers, my sisters, my parents. My brothers, my sisters, and my parents. And friends of Vihiga, because we have business community, people who are not natives in Vihiga, but they are great and quite instrumental in in the affairs of Vihiga. We could never have a better leader, and especially on matters to do with the legislation, oversight, representation, and generally leadership than the one that we are likely to get in Michael Madaga, because I am one of you. Like I've said earlier on, I am wearing a shoe that is not very comfortable to me. It is hurting, and it is hurting me just like it is hurting you. And the best thing for us to do is to change over this shoe. And as I change over this shoe, I also want to change theirs. I want to change their shoe as well, so that we can rise steadily and we can rise together. I have taken time to invest in what I can be able to do, and I am doing this at a small scale, given a chance, and I know I'll be given a chance. I believe I'll be given a chance. I'll be able to implement this at a larger scale, and I am this leader not just for Vihiga, but I believe God is molding me, and God has molded me for this country as well, and my time has come. I have come. Only a matter of time. This bubble is bursting, and you will not stop it. No one will stop it. So thank you so much.
Okay, that has been Michael Madaga from the National Reconstruction Alliance under Okia Omtata within the Azimio la Umoja Coalition Party. Prof, any words you'd like to finish up with?
As a man from Vihiga, I wish him the best. I wish all the candidates the best. I said I'm supporting the lady. I've never met her. Maybe I could also support a young man, and may the best person win.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you are an aspirant, you'd like us to have a conversation with you, send us an email at hermanmanyora22@gmail.com so that we have these conversations which I hope will make us make informed decisions even as we're progressing towards this year's general elections. But until we talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.